Kia ora and hello, welcome to the stream. Sorry I'm a bit late. Had a little bit of technical difficulties. Well, it happens when you shut OBS down too soon, accidentally. But we're back up and running again, and welcome to everyone. Welcome Nacho, welcome Rocket, welcome to everyone else on the horizontal stream and the vertical stream. And tonight I hope you're going to enjoy it. We're going to look at a couple of new maps that were released on ModHub. So let's get started. And so the first one we're going to look at is the Risoux forest. It's a forestry map, so there's not too much going on with it really, but it's still not a bad map. So just loading it up now. So I loaded it up, I've saved it, and where we start off will be the starting location. But the description of it is: the mysterious Risoux forest is back, a place where every path whispers a secret and every shadow hides an enigma. Explore the natural settings full of mysteries, where only the most attentive will be able to detect the hidden elements, stumps, cabins, huts, invisible to the distracted eye. Armed with your instinct and curiosity, set off to discover buried clues and emblematic characters. It is a forest map with more than 20,000 trees, 3 sales points and 1 sawmill. There is a collection of mushrooms to look for, destructible rocks. The winding and steep paths can also be a good opportunity to do a motorcycle race. The map also contains 19 fields to buy, 70 wooded plots, 1 water source, AI networks for easy movement, 1 set of new ground textures to enhance the landscape mode. So it's the Risoux forest. It's by JMGaming. And it weighs in at a light 383.31 megabytes and is available for PC, Mac, PS5 and Xbox. Hello Ginger, welcome to the stream. We're looking at a couple of new maps that were dropped on ModHub. I'll get my bit of paper so that we can run through the important things. So I've read the description and the download size, and there are no required mods for this map. Well done. So we'll have a look at the PDA. So that's what it will look like. So there is a little bit of farming on it, but as you can see, it's mainly forestry. And the block that you start off with is a forestry block, as well as a homestead here with some equipment. Now the equipment that we have, we've got the International, we've got John Deere Forestry, John Deere Tractor, the Komatsu, the Ponzi Bison, the stump grinder, and the winch. So basically we're starting off full forestry. If we have a look at the field prices, that field there is 40,000. That's for just under a hectare. Just nearly 1.5 is 70,000. forestry, looking at 41. So it's not a huge amount of money to get land to get extra trees or to be able to do the forestry. So there are collectibles on this map. So let's get back into it. And so this is where we start off. And we're starting off looking into sort of, I guess it's what you'd call a village in this area. So that there is all your forestry land. So, yeah, you've got a good supply of, you know, easy to harvest trees. They can be harvested with the harvester. We've got an animal dealer here if you do get round to putting animals in. And it may actually be easier to put animals in than to put I don't know what's happening with Nightbot there, but never mind. Might be easier to put animals in than to actually put pastures in. But this is your house here, fairly standard Zelonka house. Sleep trigger, wardrobe trigger. I hope that they're smoking some meat. I'm hoping that's not the sausages burning. And if we come along here, so this is all our land here. So I'm not sure how you'd go for making it into fields. So that's the interesting tree there. It's the riddle. I dwell beneath leaves of faded hue, where time stands still and whispers a few. My shelter is hollow, yet filled with old lore, a slumbering giant with tales to store. If you wish to see me, tread with care, for only by night I dance through the air. Listen to the roots that hum in the dark, where moonlight glows and shadows spark. And you can see there some of the collectible mushrooms there that we can collect. There's a few scattered around. But I'm not sure whether you can really get rid of the tree stumps to be able to plough this area up. I'm not too sure. I haven't tried it with the stump grinder yet. The stones may break up with a rock breaker. I haven't actually had a chance to try that yet. As you can see, there's a few logs sitting around on the ground which could make it difficult to plough up the ground for pastures or for wheat and that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's what we've got there. So let's head back down and we'll pick up the ute and we'll go for a spin around the map. There we go, back where we started. So he's got a lot of colour in it, you know, the wildflowers and that sort of thing. There are people around. Not much in the way of vehicles though. We do have a dealership there. It looks like you can go into and just have a look. It's more like sort of a warehouse than an actual dealership, so but it's nicely done. So let's see if we can find our ute. Maybe they put it in the garage. Here it is. So I haven't actually driven around this map yet, so it's going to be a whole new experience. So I think we want to go left and then carry on straight ahead. So if you're into forestry, this would be a really good map. Not as hefty as Silver Run. And yeah, it is a nice looking map. Don't mind the flowers on the side. I think they give it sort of a nice splash of colour in what would otherwise be a very green map with all the forestry. So there's a pasture there and another field up that way. And we've got up here it'll be the sawmill. So you've got people floating around. I think the fires are a nice touch. The smoke adds a little bit of life to the place, makes it look lived in. All good, Rocket. So let's have a look. Yeah, so a lot of driving around trees and all that on this map. Not a lot of fields, but there is fields there if you want to do that. You may notice that in some areas the trees are on an angle, and that's to try and give the impression that the wind has shaped the trees, which, you know, when you get into windy areas you can actually see how trees are affected. If there's a prevailing wind, the trees will quite often lean in that direction, and that's what they've tried to do here, so it's quite a nice touch. So another fairly big field there. This is Mason Moochharp. may mean something if you can speak French. My high school French didn't get me to that area, that kind of ability, but yeah, you know, bit of decoration around. And another sell point. So if we look at the map, so that's the mill. That's the only factory that there is the mill. And sell points. We've got La Rochette's, Muchin's house, and Robert's farm. And they will buy most things by the looks of it. But not sure if there's much that you can purchase things for yourself. We go down to the prefab wall. No, so there's nowhere to buy things. So whereabouts are we on the map? Okay, seeing we're near the map edge, let's go and discuss that elephant in the room. So when you get to the map edge, this is what you discover. A nice 2D wall of painted trees. And it's such a beautiful map. I feel like the map maker has really sort of let himself down a little bit by just, you know, putting that wall in and just not making the map go out further. If we hop out and we fly up, so it'll give us a good idea. So you do have, you know, it's sort of like a painted backdrop in the distance. It is quite a bit below the actual map level, but it's still there. And you know, he's still got this, I don't know, almost feels like FS15 2D wall of trees. It's like I say, I just feel like he's let himself down a little bit. But then you guys all know how I feel about map edges. It's one of my little things that I go on about all the time. I know. He has, of course, taken up the whole map. So you do, the whole map goes right out to the edge. So let's go to the next sell point. Like I say, it is a really beautiful map. Yeah, there's fields around. It is primarily forestry. So it could be fun getting a combine harvester around. And definitely fun getting an exit around, I think. I think that's the new item of comparison for maps. Is the map Nexit friendly? So the forestry areas do look good. You've got paths running through the forest. But it is just a forestry map at the end of the day. Yeah, you've got a nice paths. The forest does look nice. Yeah, a good lot of ground cover. And for the size, you know, considering how many trees are in it, it's actually quite reasonable. There is bird sounds in the forest, so oh, nice, mate. Yeah, blueberry muffins are nice. So I'm not too sure if there's something special happens at night. Did do a quick fast forward and I thought I saw green light on the ground, but couldn't make it out. So I'm not too sure what the special story is. I just have a feeling that seeing they made such a big deal about the Enigma and all that sort of thing, that something happens. And, you know, the riddle and all that sort of points to something as well. But I haven't been able to find anything about it, so I guess it's something you'd have to try and discover for yourselves. We're coming up here to the other sales point. Or are we? No, we're just coming to a field. Is it further down this way? Yeah, it is. There we go. So I'm sort of in third person instead of inside the truck, so you sort of get a wider view of the area and what's there and that sort of thing. So yeah, here's another little house. So I don't think the gardens are usable, but you know, with Omatana's garden, then you know that's an opportunity now, especially with some of this flat area here. You know, you could put a few gardens in here and make a bit of money. So yeah, you know, you've got opportunities to start anywhere you want on the map, really. So might just have a look. Is this buyable? Grass field is buyable, but you can't buy the sales point. But you can buy the grass field. Yeah, so you can sort of see the areas that you can and can't buy there. So, can't buy all areas, so you can't sort of buy a industrial area and yeah, mate, getting lost. Like I say, I haven't driven around this map at all. I've jumped around it, but I haven't driven around it, so I'm seeing things this way for the first time. So it looks like you've got another walking trail there. Now there does seem to be a few of those special stumps around, dotted around the place, so yeah, I'm not too sure how it all works together. Now let's see. Yep, so this will take us down to the water source. So it's making good use of the mist here and the running streams from Silver Run. It's nice to see them incorporated into the maps now. And we just jump out here. You can see where we can sort of come down and we can grab water from out of here. Probably want to be careful though. Wouldn't want to get the trailer in too deep, but this does seem to be the area where you can back your trailer in and grab some water. Okay, I hadn't seen that before. Yeah, you got a nice little campground here and a little chair. Just gives the impression of a bit of life, doesn't it? So it's nicely done. So if you want a forestry map, yeah, I think this rates up there as one of the better ones. Definitely a lot of trees. Take you a while to cut down 20,000 of them. Head back to the house. Sort of got the tracks crisscross all over the place. So I'm not sure if you can remove those logs that are on the ground to be able to make pastures. And you've got another sell point here. And a stone crusher. So that's the Risoux forest. Just trying to find out, I'm just trying to remember who did it again. Let's have a look. The Risoux Forest by JMGaming. And for a forestry map. Yeah, Nacho, found your secret base. Sending up smoke signals doesn't keep it secret for long, mate. Sorry. So it's a good map if you're into forestry maps and you want to do a bit of forestry. Yeah, the fields are quite reasonable. You can get started, and yeah, it can really get stuck into the forestry side of things. So yeah, it's a good map. Like I say, I've got this hang up about map edges, so it does let itself down on the map edge side of things, but other than that, it's a brilliant map and well done. So definitely one to download and play if you want to do forestry. So the next map just literally blew me away. So it is a Polish map. Zacieczki. My apologies for my pronunciation. So this is a Polish map. It does have some fairly large fields and it has some very small, typically Polish fields. It's a typical Polish village that you'd come to expect from a Polish map, but it's really well done. So while it's loading, it says, "Hello, I present to you a new Polish map for farming 25 with real terrain." So it is based on a real area in the northeast of Poland. It contains Policy Masura climate, so my apologies for the pronunciation. 80 fields plus lands to buy, all 90 in total. 2 farms to choose from, forests to cut down, new textures of ground paintings, Easter eggs on the map, Polish license plates with the beginning of the regional plates. 5 purchases: wool purchase, lime stations, animal dealer, purchased slurry in Mātlixx, sale of bales, sawmill, sale of manure, machine shop, animated animals on static farms, and unique finds on the map. So unfortunately it is a PC Mac only map. I did not realize that, so my apologies for our console friends. It's a shame. I could see no reason why it shouldn't be on console, but obviously that's got a reason for not being on. So it's by Matlixx and it weighs in at a hefty 975.78 megabytes. So it's quite a big map. Sort of gets up there with Silver Run. So this is where you spawn, sort of in a playground, sort of, you know, one of those workout playgrounds that they have. So there are collectibles. You sort of spawn looking directly at one. So it's a golden tractor. It's got a lot of really nice touches to it. When you walk past here, you have them trying to start the tractor. And there's quite a bit of talking in Polish. Sorry. So this is your starting farm here. You have got chickens, and you've got a buildable shed that you have to provide goods for. So if we have a look at the PDA field prices, you're starting off with that field. It's 121,000. So you've got fairly big fields in places. 409. So it's about 60,000 for a hectare. And you do have a couple of smaller fields down here. 15, 16. So you've definitely got a range of different fields. You'll notice that the map does sort of seem a bit smaller than what some other maps are. And there is a really good reason for that. So if we have a look at the starting equipment, you've got a sprayer, fertilizer, so a couple of fertilizers, the class Evian, class Vario, a douche far, FarmTech trailer, Hardy sprayer. I think that's a cultivator, another cultivator, trailer, the seeder, Massey Ferguson combine. So I'm not sure why you would start off with two combines, but that's what they seem to have done. You've got a New Holland T7. So yeah, you've got a good supply. So like I say, it's a shame that it's PC only. You can see those little golden tractors all over the place. So it seems unusual that they'd have two farms complete with equipment for those two farms. So a little bit strange there. And you do own this field, and it's ready to harvest, so you got a good bit of wheat there that you can make some money on initially. So let's grab ourselves a vehicle, and I think the Skoda would be quite fitting for the area. And we'll have a quick tour around. We have a lot of sound, you know, in the workshop sounds. And, you know, nice bit of old iron up on the top there, so that's quite neat. So it looks like he's got a stone thanking, I'm picking, I can't read Polish at all, but I'm picking he's thanking the testers. I have something like that idea that that's the case. But I could be wrong. And we've got here a scripture. Now I did look it up. And I must have closed it, so... My browser just doesn't want to do it properly. And it reads something along the lines of, in their hearts humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. So I think that describes quite well, you know, sort of what farming can be all about sometimes. Farmers may causing a traffic jam. Farmers, you know, make plans and all that, but the weather dictates what eventually happens. So we've got up here, yeah, it's sort of like a working area. There's static people. I'm not sure what went wrong there, but I have a feeling he might be on the phone to the insurance company. So that's definitely one of the little Easter eggs. Static people. And, you know, people talking in Polish. So I haven't got a clue what they're saying, unfortunately. But once again, good use of the wildflowers. I do wish that we had those available to paint with. You can do so much with your builds with those sort of things, especially around houses. It's not available as something you can put into the grow yourself. They are just obviously put in by Giant's editor. So this is the edge of the map. So he has shrunk the size of the map down a bit to allow for this kind of detail right at the edge of the map. But I am just blown away with it. It just carries on. It looks good. Has he given up some fields? Yeah, he's given up some fields to do that. But let's face it, unless you're doing the buy every field challenge, you're never going to own every field. Even this one, you know, with 80 fields. In a normal gameplay, you're not going to own all 80 fields. You're going to have a select few around your farm, and that's going to be it. Well, it is for me anyway. So I think this is the way most maps should look, especially in 2025. Yeah, Alien Jim started it with Mercury Farms. You got to the edge of the map and it just carried on. Once again, it was a slightly smaller map, but it just looked so nice. And yeah, I just feel like they look so much better than a wall of 2D painted trees. So you got a good lot of forestry, nice harvestable trees, lots of fields around the place. Yeah, I can understand how you guys feel, mate. I am a little bit gutted. I didn't realise it was only a PC only map, because I was quite excited for it, because I thought it would be an awesome map. And yeah, it is an awesome map. It's a shame that it is PC only. It would be nice if they could get it onto the console as well. So he's definitely lost points here, not having it on console. Now let's have a quick run around. So I think just up here, that's the sawmill. Now you do have buy points for things, so you can purchase everything on the map. And if we jump into this field and head on to the road, we come to another Easter egg. And it's a good Easter egg if you can speak Polish.
Medalion drży, to miejsce mocy.
I've got no idea what that one's about. So, yeah, there's some Easter eggs which I guess you have to be Polish to understand. And I've tried to see if there's any translations out there, but there's nothing out there at the moment. So yeah, so that's the map. Yeah, it's a great map. I love the edges. The edges are just fantastic. The detail on the map is fantastic, but you are paying a price for it with the hefty megabytes. So yeah, that's yeah, mate, it did. I heard that too. So yeah, that's that map. I'll be honest, I was really excited about it until I saw that it wasn't console. And then I thought, that's not great, you know. Palanay is probably almost as good. And it's console ready as well. So, and Lipinski is also another nice little map, Polish map, and that's console. So, you know, there are some really good maps out there, and Lipinski, I did like the edges on that one too. I thought they'd done a great job. So let's have a look now. So I thought what we might do, maybe we'll load this one up. Let's deselect all, select all. I'll turn off auto drive and course play. So the other thing I thought I would do on the stream is maybe we could have a look at the Nexit pack. I was hoping to do it on the Polish map, but yeah, because it's not console, yeah, I've lost interest in it now too. Disappointed. So I won't read out the description for Zelonka because I think you guys already know it. Okay, so let's have a look here. Okay, so console players, close your eyes. You're not going to like what I'm about to do. This is actually what I want. Build options. Here we go. And we want to go to wheat. Harvest ready. Invisible stones. Okay. Yeah, and then there's the other thing you can do with PC, I'm afraid. Okay, so let's get rid of that truck. Okay, so with the Nexit pack, get the right one, go up to there, and it's not actually under harvesters or anything like that. It basically has its own category under miscellaneous, and we've got the Nexit pack there. So the trick is to buy the items in the correct order. So normally you'd buy the harvester, then you'd buy the header. But with the Nexit, it's actually easier to buy the header first. Now I have noticed a bit of lag when it loads up, so I might have to release a patch for that. And then you buy the capsule. Good morning, Klaus. How are you? We've just done a couple of map tours, new ones from the Mod Hub. One was a forestry map, and the other one was a Polish map, which I thought was brilliant until I found out it wasn't console. So, yeah, it's a really nice map, but not being console does let it down a bit. So I've just loaded up Zelonka, and we're going to have a look at the Nexit system. So we now go up to the monster. So you can change your tires. But that's about it. I trust you're feeling well today, Klaus, and everything's going well. Alright, just checking my phone. So it's a humongous header. and it's a large capacity hopper for the wheat or the grain, and it all just sort of hooks into this unit here. So currently this is in transport mode, and the wheels, the small wheels, are there to actually reduce the amount of weight that each wheel has to make it road legal. So I believe to be road legal on German roads, it has to have number plates, obviously, and it has to be only as wide as a lane. And so that's what they've done. Yes, the next set is console. Everything from Giants that's released by Giants is console. I can't recall anything that they've ever released that's been PC only. Other modders will do PC only, but Giants will always release for the console as well, from what I've seen. So I've left the control group there, so in start the engine, and you can, you know, sort of move forward and back. Steering is quite interesting. You can sort of see how both wheels turn. It takes a bit of getting used to. Now the green lines show that you're lined up. So if I spin round, you see how the lines have changed. So I'm not lined up. And if I'm on the opposite side, they won't line up as well. Now, what can be quite good for this is if we go in there, and it is hold the O for Oscar key. If I hold that down, it's not going to do it. Okay, so usually if you hold the O key down, yeah, not going to do it. So we'll unfold it, so you see the leg go down and the wheels go to the side like that, and the same thing happens on the front, and then your unit moves around to the side like that, and then you can, here we go, jump in. So this is what it looks like inside that capsule, and then you can pull forward but you can see why it's good to buy it in the right order. Okay, and then we can fold it up and it will go into transport mode. So this is ready to go on the road. You can sort of see how, yeah, it steers a bit funny. And a big welcome to all those on our horizontal and vertical streams. Thank you for joining. If you are enjoying the stream and watching me botch up, please hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. It helps put the channel out there to other people. Ah, so they trailer it in Germany. So let's go into there. So you can either do the spreading or the swaths, and it lies the two swaths down. Yeah, I got my information, Klaus, from Laura Farms, which was in America, so they may have been wrong about the German side of things. But yeah, so you have that there, and it's quite often easier to change the steering, so you can have all-wheel steering, or you can have front steering or rear steering. Now it does give a 10% bonus in harvesting, and it will travel at 12 kilometers per hour. It's definitely a big field machine. There's definitely some fields on Calmsden Farm, Oakbridge Farm, that could use it, but yeah, getting it around Calmsden Farm would be a bit of a mission, I think. you got that big screen and it's almost sort of in the way, but it would be a real mission. I noticed on the Laura farm video that they were actually doing every second row and they were getting it to turn automatically onto the next row. So it had the headland turning, which is something that Giants hasn't implemented. So it's definitely a manual turn situation. There we go. Mouse button's down, and then you can hold the. You actually, I think you can turn the cabin right the way round, and you can actually see what you're doing or what you've done. And it's interesting that it's actually. They can control it by remote control and not actually have anyone inside the cab. So that was more for if you're manoeuvring around a yard or something like that. Connecting it up to pieces of equipment. Yeah, see ya, Ginger Ninja. Thanks for visiting, and yeah, it's been an interesting one, a bit different from my usual ones. But thank you for popping in. Do appreciate it. Be back to a normal schedule again tomorrow. I'm sure this would be a lot easier with a controller than a mouse. Okay, so let's try something else. So it is expensive bit of kit. Definitely stutters a bit round it. Okay, so I'm pressing and holding O now, and this is what it should do. Interestingly, I haven't got the engine started. So I'm just pressing and holding O again. It's lining up. And we'll connect in. We'll fill the vehicle with slurry. Probably helps if I have the slurry tank selected. Here we go. So I think it's definitely the kind of equipment that you would want to keep on your farm and not travel too far with it. Definitely getting a bit of stutters from it. Okay, so I'm just reading through. Oh yeah, activate double. Okay, and there we go, we're cultivating. And we're able to cultivate at 15 kilometers an hour. So that should give us one stage of fertilization. If we have a look. Yep, so we've got one stage of fertilization there. So if we turn on we'll activate double act. No, that wasn't it. Okay, so we're still going at 15 kilometers per hour. Now we're doing double and it has actually slowed down. Okay, that was interesting. When Mr. Sealy P did it, it didn't slow down for him, so it makes sense that it slows down, but so that's doing the double application rate there. So you definitely want a fairly large slurry tanker nearby. Yeah, catch you later, Nacho. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. You have a good day. So I believe that it will leave the tram lines. The idea is that these big wheels will always follow the same line every time. So whether you're spraying or sowing or whatever you're doing, they'll always be the same. So the idea is it reduces the amount of soil compaction. And thank you to everyone that's joined our slightly different stream tonight, doing a bit of a map tour and then looking at the Nexit pack that was released by Giants just recently. We're out of slurry. Like I say, you probably want a fairly large slurry tanker nearby. Okay, so let's don't normally play this way, so turn season growth off. And what we want to do is okay, so that's a weeder, and that's the sprayer. It looks like you've got a planter there. Oh yeah, and that's a disc harrow. So this will be the one we want to seed with. I have noticed a little bit of a delay. So we've got the seed hopper. Okay, so holding the O for Oscar key again, it's lined itself up and will automatically load up. So we want the seed hopper selected. You can load seeds and solid fertilizer in. I think I've got too many Nexits in the game. Okay, and that's planting at 15 kilometers. Here we go, we can sort of see what's happening behind us. Okay, so it does have to be on cultivated ground. It won't plant directly. Looks like it's all joystick controlled. Okay, so I'm interested to see if we do get the tram lines. So I'm going to go and sleep through the night. It is cool having the stars in the sky again. Oh, thick fog. Definitely causes some stutters getting close to this machinery, especially having a few of them. Okay, so it doesn't look like it's put a tram line in. Okay, that's interesting. Oh no, hang on, what's this? It's a tram line with weeds in it. So yes, you can get tram lines in the fields. Yeah, frame rates are definitely plummeting around the equipment. They're very detailed, obviously. Okay, so there we go. Think big. The New Holland CR11. Ain't big anymore. That's not the biggest equipment around. So the Nexit is, it's an interesting piece of kit. I think they said they went from one of the smallest ones with the Antonio Carrero pack, which was the first DLC for FS22, to one of the biggest units in farming for FS25. It's definitely one that you would use on a certain type of map, certain type of farm. It's not one that you're going to be using in all farms. It's definitely made for the big wide plains, where you've got a lot of ground to cover. So yeah, it's an interesting pack. I do like it. Not too sure about the stutters. But not too bad. Okay, so while I'm here, let's just jump into our sea change map. The last time on this map, we had a little bit of a problem with the size of our windmill. It wasn't quite as big as I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to show you what I've got planned. I'm going to revert back to a previous save. For the actual gameplay, but I am going to put a silo in at the farm, but I'm thinking down here where the wholesalers is, there's a bit of spare land, so I'm thinking I can actually afford it with how much money I've got in the bank account. So I'm thinking of putting this mill in because it creates pig food, which could be good for the pigs. So it's something that's it's new. You put your oat or barley, sorghum, wheat into it, and it will produce flour and pig food. So I thought that might be quite a good idea. It only takes 50,000 litres of wheat, so or oat, so I'll probably need a silo to store it in. And then this bakery looked quite good too. So it does ordinary bread, it takes about 110,000 litres of flour, has 120 cycles per month, and the bread recipe is 90 flour equals 245 bread. So I'm thinking of putting that in so we can make some bread and sell as well. And like I say, I can actually afford both of them as it is. Now I would have liked to have put them into a different ownership and then use the lease mod, just to make it a little bit more realistic. But unfortunately, to be able to put the building down, I have to own the land. If I own the land, the building just defaults back to me anyway. And of course I can't sell the land because I've got buildings on it. So whichever way it goes, I end up owning the buildings outright. So yeah, it's just a thing that comes with the map because it doesn't have these sort of productions built into it. So we've got to look at doing that. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. I think the pig food option would be quite good. And as we've definitely run out of room in the other windmill, we've definitely need to come up with something. But like I say, I'll revert back to a previous save before I place those buildings in, and then possibly sort out a silo and then work out what I'm going to do a bit later on. But that's where we are. It's been an interesting stream. Thank you everyone for joining. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I'll be returning to this map tomorrow night, and we'll carry on with our harvesting of that massive oat field. So we'll have to put in a silo and see how we go there. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you Rocket, thank you Klaus, and thank you to everyone in the vertical stream and the horizontal stream. Wish everyone a good evening, a good afternoon, or a good morning wherever you are in the world and whatever time you're watching this. Feel free to share this. If you're watching it as a video, feel free to share it with anyone that might be interested in the maps that we toured earlier on, and those that might be interested in the Nexit pack as well. But until next time, thank you everyone, and bye.